Bong Joon-ho's Parasite is a clear commentary on class and economic disparity. It is an unmistakable tale of class struggle. Rather than coding a message about the seriousness of economic inequality, Joon-ho is blatant in his depiction of class division. This level of transparency is rarely seen in mainstream Western film. Employing Marxist film theory to analyze this film doesn't uncover a hidden message within Parasite. Rather, it presents one way to contextualize the film and apply it to the real world. The central Marxist idea in Parasite is interclass division. This is a fundamental pitfall of late-stage capitalism. Marxist film theory focuses more on the symptoms of capitalism rather than the solution to these symptoms as proposed by Marx. At the core of this theory is class conflict and disparity. From a Marxist perspective, the unification of the working class is the only way to achieve the end goal of the dissolution of classes. The conflict between Moon-kwang, Jun-se, and the Kim family is a raw depiction of how capitalism-related stress serves to intensify the division of the working class. Capitalism rests almost entirely on competition. This competition, on a large scale, is a distraction from the aforementioned unification of the working class. To motivate competition among the proletariat, capitalism deprives them of basic necessities in the absence of their ability to afford them. On the individual scale, this competition breeds a cycle of fear that what you have will be taken. The Kim family finds themselves trapped by this. That fear is what drives them to commit acts of violence. They find themselves without the luxury of choice in utilizing discretion and graciousness. Assigning value to labor is another aspect of Marxism that begs to be looked at in the context of Parasite. The Kim family's time and labor is devalued and unrecognized. In the midst of a housing crisis brought by the rain that swept away the Kim family's possessions and livelihood, Mrs. Park calls Ki-jung spontaneously and invites her to her son's birthday. She tells her to think of it as part of her work, tacitly insisting that it come before any other obligations. The Kim family also represents the deceptive nature of capitalism that keeps the system churning. They fantasize about their possible upward economic and social mobility. Ki-woo goes so far as to propose hiring actors to pose as his family in order to maintain the lie and infiltrate the Park family's wealth and lifestyle. The horrors and realities of life as a working-class family are powerful enough to prompt them to envision a life that is entirely fabricated by exhausting lies. Class disparity is upheld by misleading the proletariat into believing that their hard work and consistency will be rewarded one day with contentment and security. In reality, there is no way to truly achieve those things without the exploitation of those below you, directly or indirectly. The promise of being able to one day succeed is what keeps workers viewing others as obstacles rather than allies.
저라도 황당할 것 같아요. 같은 일 하는 사람끼리 그쵸 충숙이 언니.
The title of the film, no matter how fleshed out of a discussion, remains the perfect window into the continuation of extreme class and economic division. When it is reduced to the fundamentals, capitalism is a form of symbiotic parasitism. The proletariat relies on the bourgeoisie for access to necessities. The bourgeoisie depends on the proletariat to feed the machine that lines their pockets. One cannot exist without the other. The working class exists to provide for the rich arguably exist to maintain the illusion of freedom and upward mobility. Marxist film theory, when applied to this film, allows us to peer through the relationship between these two families and into the real world. Parasite provides a fictional story of class struggle that is simultaneously hyper-realistic.